Hey guys, how's it going? Real Randy Chavez here, coming at you with a Pokemon data sales video. We have a lot to go through because I bought a lot. uh, Blaine's Arcanine. I think yesterday in the video I said I really hope this guy does not accept my offer for $1,500 for a first edition PSA 10, even though that is a steal. We've seen these go for 2.4K. There's even another one listed for 2.4K, listed for 1,800, and to be safe, I should have just bought it at 1,800, but offered 1.5 and they sold it to me, so I confirmed this morning. Shining Raichu, first edition PSA 10, listed at 1,800, where I bought the last one for $2,000, and I should have just sniped this one, but I just bought that 1.5. I was like, oh my, I cannot afford this. So I offered like $1,250, and it sold for 1.5K. Someone, oh my god, that is a steal. That is a stupid steal. Whoever got that is, congrats, hats off to you. You did it. Kangaskhan, first edition PSA 9, sold for $162. We had a Magneton, first edition PSA 10 from Fossil set that sold for $300. Dragonite, first edition PSA 9, sold for $510 from the Fossil set. Giovanni's Gyarados, first edition PSA 9. Two of them sold within like 2 hours of each other. Both of them sold for $175 each. Then we had a Giovanni's Machamp, first edition PSA 10, sold for $310. Love that. I love that I got two of them for $120 each. That is insane, like a month ago. Erica's Venusaur, first edition PSA 9, sold for $425. Alright, so now I think this is the support line. It was down here at like 130, 180 when I bought it. Went up to like 650, seeing a bit of a retrace, and I think this is the support line. Spoiler why I say that, because we had 420 or 430 the other day, and then this one at 425. So they're both, when I say 420 is that support line, again up to 650. There's a lot of these. There's less than 100 PSA 10s, but there's like I think there's over 200 PSA 9s. There might even be over 300. I'm not sure, but there's a lot of them. And that's been made lots of moves lately. So they did too much too fast, seeing a retrace. That's the support line, 420. I still have mine up for, I sold mine for like 450, the first one. I still have another one up for like 800. I'm not going to sell that until the price gets there. Blaine's Charizard, first edition PSA 9. We had a record price point the other day of like $1,326. This one sold for $1,025. And then we had a Brock's Ninetales, first edition PSA 9, sold for $117. 117. We had a Dark Blastoise, first edition PSA 9, sold for $355. And a Dark Charizard, first edition PSA 9. This one was interesting. This one sold for $740. And then, I'm sorry, there was another Dark Charizard that... Alright, so this one sold for $740. And then another one, like an hour later, sold for $1,325. But that $1,325 had zero feedback. And then there was someone that bid $1,300, and then the third bid was $625. So I don't know if that was shill bidding or whatever, but I don't think that's the right price. I don't think that's going to go through, because again, that third bid was $625. Relatively close to that $740. However, we had another one listed like 2 days. It was a 3-day auction, just 3-day, whatever. And that Dark Charizard first edition PSA 9 finished at $815. Now this could have been a stronger 9 than the other two. Maybe that's why. Maybe this guy just had really, really good positive feedback, and people are just like, you know what, I'd rather buy from him than anyone else. And that's over $815. I don't know if that's a record price. I don't think Dark Charizard PSA 9 got to 1,000 yet. It's going to work its way up there. And Dragonite, Blaine's Charizard, Dark Blastoise. Okay, so Sabrina's Alakazam, first edition PSA 9, sold for $132. I think it's a little low, actually. I think we've had others move out after that, but either way, that's a fair price point. If someone's paying, let's say $450, yeah, no, that's probably the correct value. I think the 10 is undervalued, and that is what it is right now. Misty's Gyarados, first edition PSA 9, sold for $227. Moving on after that, I just lost my spot. Fossil Zapdos, first edition PSA 9, sold for $193. Then we had, so the Dark Persian that I've mentioned before, the one that has like 9 PSA 10 copies. The magazine that it comes from, the Japanese Fan Club magazine, volume 3, you get the magazine, and then you get the card that's in the magazine, and that card is a Dark Persian, again, in Japanese. That sold for the magazine itself, with the card included, sold for $34. And then we had a Gyarados Gold Star from Hollow Phantoms, PSA 8, sold for $640, and not just had 5 bids at 500 and above. So 500, 510, 570, 630, and 640. So that's a pretty coveted card. You know, the 10, we had 2 10s selling like the past couple months. That's a good price point. Mewtwo Gold Star, same thing from Holland Phantoms? I don't know. PSA 8. This one apparently a little more coveted because it did have 5 bids at, $499, 500, 520. Then the last 2 were $790 and $800 was the winning bid. So the Mewtwo Gold Star 8, PSA 8 is a little bit more coveted than the Gyarados Gold Star PSA 8, 800, 640. I have to check the pop reports on them, see if there's like a reason for that and what the... I know the Gyarados Gold Star, I'm almost positive, is rarer than the Mewtwo Gold Star. Someone check me on that, or I'll check it out in the next video. Typhlosion 18. This one was weird. It was a first edition BGS 8.5. So Typhlosion 18 is the one that is not as... Sorry, I just got a text message. The one that is not as common, or I'm sorry, it is more common. It is easier to grade and it is more common. You'll see that more. And it was a BGS 8.5, but everything, all the subgrades, was a 9.5 except for the surface. Surface was a 7.5, and yeah, it kind of deserved it. So this might have been a 7 or an 8, in PSA, but 8.5, because everything else did look pretty stellar, except for the surface, a little bit of scratching. That sold for $310. Rocket Zapdos First Edition Raw. So this is from Gym Challenge, Rocket Zapdos. This one was really good. I would have given it a 9. I don't think it would have gotten 10. It would have been a weak 10, but I would have given it a 9. Sold for $192. And I think the 9 sold for $300. So if this was actually it just gets a 9, then this person got a steal. By the time they get it, they grade it, send it out to PSA, it comes back a 9. That's going to be worth like $400. So great job. They doubled their money. Charizard, first edition, base set, BGS 8.5. This had 9 for the centering in the corners as a subgrade, and the subgrade's 8.5 for the edges and 8 for the surface. For the most part, this was okay. The $8,200 bid, which I think that's probably fair. $8,200 bid that had 462 feedback. Then it got a little fugazi. We had someone that 265 feedback, which is fine, bid 9.5. And maybe had these top 2 not have bid, it would have just been between the 9.5 and the 8.2, and maybe it would have settled at around like 8.5 or something. But the 2 top bidders, they both had 1 feedback each, 9.6, 9.7 grand, and then it got relisted. The same card got relisted because I'm pretty sure that's a shill bid, and in a couple of funky ways, and it got relisted today at like 13K or best offer. Some of the 9s, first edition PSA 9s that don't have 8 surfaces and 8.5, edges, they are getting less than 30. I've seen some sell for like 10, 11, 12, seen some sell for 15, but this does not deserve that $13,000 price point. That 8.5 doesn't deserve that 9.7. Again, I'm not saying all 8.5s. This 8.5, I don't think deserved it. Moving on past that Suicune from Neo Revelation, first edition PSA 9, sold for $550. Giovanni's Persian. This one I think is a little undervalued because of what we saw yesterday. The 170 PSA 9 sold for 170, or 190 and 270, or 170 and 290. Yeah, 170, which again, that PSA 9 might have been a little very weak 9, should have been an 8. And then it actually, another 9, like a strong 9, sold for $290. That being said, this one should be, the 8, I think, should minimum be like a minimum 100, but probably like 125, 150. And this PSA 8 sold for $81. So I think that's pretty undervalued. And again, you don't see a lot of movements with the 7s and the 8s, but when these cards start to get to really big numbers and you don't want to spend several $100s, okay, even if you just want it for a binder set, you don't want to spend that much for that. Moving past that, Shining Gyarados. I haven't seen one of these in a while. First edition PSA 9 sold for $1,316. That was cool to see because this Shining Gyarados is pretty rare. Like the PSA 9s have 287 PSA 9 copies. So that, there's a decent amount of them, but there's only 95 PSA 10 copies, less than 100 for a Shining card, and that's... So Lugia, first edition PSA 8, sold for $735. I think that's a record for the 8? No, I can't remember. But either way, it was an Australian auction in Australian dollars, so someone might have bid that just so they didn't have to get the... What do you call it? So they didn't have to pay the shipping fees and whatever. Or the income fees, they tax you. Aerodactyl pre-release first edition PSA 9 sold for $80. Misty's Gold Duck first edition PSA 9 sold for $242. I'm waiting for one to sell for like $300 something. I have mine listed for $999. I think honestly $999 is honestly really what it should be valued at if the max. If someone gets it for that, I do think that's a fair price point. If someone offers $800, will I take it? Maybe, but again, full transparency, I'm doing that because that's what I think is valued at. You can get it for a lot cheaper. You can clearly get it for less than half of that. I'm gonna put that for what I think it's worth, and if other people aren't gonna pay that, I'll wait until the price gets there. Like I have a T17 that I listed for 4K. Well, and I listed like I can, if they offer 2,500, I'll see it. Like it won't auto decline it. But if someone's asking for someone offered 17 grand for a PSA 10 version, I honestly think I should change that 4K to like 5K and make it 3,500. Decline anything under 3,500 because it's there's again just my thought process. Shining Kabutops first. I'll get to that in a minute. The Shining's in a minute. So Erica's Clefable, first edition PSA 10, sold for $345. I think that is very undervalued. There's less than 100 PSA 10 copies. That is something that I think should be... There's 118 PSA 10 copies of Erica's Dragonair, which I got for $650. That was the new record price point. I set that. The Erica's Clefable has less copies than that, and this should go for more. This should go for minimum 500, 600. I think that is very undervalued. Whoever got that got a good deal. Sabrina's Alakazam, first edition. All right, so the Shinings and a couple of these from the same person. Sabrina's Alakazam, first edition PSA 10 was listed at like $749 or whatever. I just threw in, I threw in like 500. The offer. They countered with 6, and then I didn't respond right away. And then I was like, just 550. If they get it, I'll do it. And then they did it. And this was the same person where I bought Misty's Gyarados the other week for like, I don't even know what I got it for. It was for like $550 or whatever. And these are the people that I also got the... Yeah, no, that was it. That was it. So I got the Misty's Gyarados the other day, and they messaged me after the $550 I paid them. They said, "Hey, I'm sorry that it's going to come in 2 separate orders. The Misty's Gyarados," which I didn't know they were the same person. They said that already shipped out this morning, and I was like, "No, don't apologize. Like my fault for waiting 24 hours just to give you a counter." And then they said, "Anything else you want, let me know." And I said, "Well, you have another Misty's Gyarados available, right?" And they said, "Yeah." And I just use kind of my sales tags, like, figuring they just want to get rid of inventory. They just want to clear, get money to buy something else, do something else with that money. And I said, "Okay, that other Misty's Gyarados, if I offer $450, will you take it?" And they said, "Because you've bought other things from us, yes." So, holla freaking Luya! I got a Misty's Gyarados first edition PSA 10 for $450. The 9 sold for $227. Is that what it was, Mrs. Gyarados? I don't... Yes, $220. That is insane. I have to pay less than 2 times what the 9's going for the 10. Now, granted, this... I think Giovanni's Gyarados has to catch up. It has to catch up, because there's only 100... There's like 100 less copies of the PSA 10 for Giovanni's Gyarados. There's 222 or 228 for Misty's Gyarados. And I have like 3 of them now. Oh God, that's amazing. It's amazing. I love that card. I love that art. I love all the Gyaradoses. They're so OP. So the Sabrina's Alakazam after tax was $597. $550 tax $597. And the Misty's Gyarados $450 plus tax $488. And like I said, I got the Blaine's Arcanine, so I just spent so much recently. I shouldn't have done it. And then we had a Dark Machamp First Edition PSA 9 sell for $128. We had Dark Alakazam First Edition PSA 9 sell for $107. Blaine's Charizard First Edition PSA 8. This one, I don't understand. Sometimes I understand it. If you really need money, you want to make sure it gets a high premium, you start the bidding at this much, whatever. He started the bidding at $650. That would have been a record price point. The auction lasts like 7 days. Nobody bid. He relisted it. And okay, if you want to do that, okay, if you can afford to wait that long, that's fine. Blossom First Edition PSA 10 sold for $405. So I bought one for $345. Again, he sold it at $340. I just gave the guy an extra $5. That was Gary from Pawn Stars for shipping, because he was very speedy. I love that guy. One of my heroes. So I just gave him an extra $5. So that was $345 total. This one sold for $405. So already it grew like 17% ish. Then we had Blaine's Charizard. Oh no, I'm sorry. I already did this. The Dark Charizard. That was $815. That Blaine's Charizard, I think there's one on auction right now for the current bid is $525 for the PSA 8, and that should get $550, maybe $600. Yeah, this is good. This is good. PWCC is coming soon with an auction. There's in a couple of days it starts, and then Heritage Auction starts on Juneteenth, and that is going to be insane. I'm going to throw 30 grand at that Typhlosion, or no, I'm sorry, Trophy Kangaskhan PSA 9. Knowing I'm not gonna, if I get it, that's great. Then the Poke Gods are on my side, but I'm probably not gonna get it ever. Pray for me. Listen, guys, that is it for today. I'm off to upload this and make a Tesla video. I love you all. Bye bye.